I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Shut the fuck up. Play my damn clip. Hey, what is up, y'all? It's your boy Mufasa Uncaged, and man, today I'm hitting y'all with a Gotham Knights game review, man. I know it's been like a month since this game's been out, but I gotta tell y'all what I think about it, man. And here I go. The story of Gotham Knights begins with Batman having a fight with the Ra's al Ghul, and in the end of it, it ends up killing him. Then the chaos and anarchy starts because Batman isn't around. So now it's up to Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, and Red Hood to keep things under control in Gotham and find out what Batman was looking for before his death, and find out what the Court of Owls are up to. In this story, you get to see how each one of the Gotham Knights deal with Batman's death by reminiscing about what he taught them and how they connect as a group. You also get other antagonists like Harley Quinn, Clayface, you see Penguin, and you also get Mr. Freeze. By the middle of the game, I guessed who was the head of the Court of Owls, and by the end of it, I kind of figured out how the final mission would play out. The one slight difference in the story was when you played as one of the different heroes, there was a slight change in dialogue and what they say. Now that we got the story out the way, let's get into the gameplay. My experience with Gotham Knights was filled with a whole bunch of ass whooping and flashy takedowns, but that's what I like to see. If you're going into this game thinking it's going to be like the Arkham series, you're just going to go in hating it off top, and you're going to ruin the game for yourself. The combat may not be like how Batman with its fluidity, but I found it to be okay because they're not like Batman. It felt good enough for me to get the hang of it. You have a light attack, heavy attack, ranged weapons, and your momentum abilities. Your momentum abilities are basically the gadgets that you have or other cool moves. You build up a bar by beating up the enemies and do some flashy attacks with them. When it came to the skill tree though, I was somewhere in the middle about it. I liked some of the moves and the gadgets from certain characters, but what I didn't like was how some of the upgrades of the skill tree were just buffs and on a momentum abilities. I feel like those could have been used for new gadgets or different combos. Now the Knighthood skill tree I did like. In fact, it was a unique skill tree for each character that gave them their own sets of abilities. Like Nightwing had a dome that heals himself and other allies within that dome and also hurts enemies. Robin had microbots that attach to the enemies and burns them with inflicted damage. Batgirl, she had a drone that helps her out in battle, and Red Hood had Lazarus Pit effect that he shoots, and it was a skull that hits everybody in this direction that he aimed at. Also, when you unlock the Knighthood skill tree, you also get new ways to traverse through Gotham. Nightwing had a Fortnite glider. Robin can basically teleport by using the watchtower and teleport back in. Batgirl, she used the cape to fly and glide just like Batman, and Red Hood, he basically jumped on mid-air. When it came to playing with the heroes, my favorite to play as was Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, and then Red Hood. The reason why I didn't really like Red Hood was just because of how they made him the brute tank class and just how he fought stiff. He played the most stiff out of the other characters, out of the other heroes, and I guess I just didn't like that. The customization for the heroes and their suits were fire. I give it to them on that. I think the developers did a good job also creating Gotham City. It looked more detailed and having landmarks that you noticed. Also, it looked exactly what I thought Gotham would look like. Ghetto as hell. There's a day and night cycle when you switch in between. In the day, you don't do much really. You're basically in HQ preparing for the night by upgrading your suit, training, and there are cutscenes where the heroes interact with each other. When you're out at night and you're patrolling the city, you run into criminals that you can either beat up or interrogate them into telling you about another crime that's happening that night. Crimes around Gotham have a variety from truck robberies, prison escapes, criminal strongholds, and crime scene investigations. If you want to have a better experience with this game, I prefer playing in the co-op. You and a homie can run through the cities of Gotham trying to clean it up from all the bad guys, or you can just go around and beat the police ass. You can run through this whole game with all the main story missions in co-op, which would be better because trying to do some of these missions by yourself will be a pain in the ass. Sometimes the enemies can overwhelm you, and it's always good to have somebody watch your back. There is no 4-player co-op at the time, but In the future, they're saying there's an update coming for 4-player co-op, so I'm willing to see what that is like. What I think the developers could have did better is not by adding the gear level RPG elements into this game. I think the game would have been better without it, honestly. Another thing I would have liked to see is Lucius Fox play a bigger role when it came to upgrading gadgets, or upgrading the bat cycle would have been great. The bat cycle could have been way better with upgrades instead of unlocking new paint jobs for it. It would have been better if it had a boost on it, and the fact that it didn't just disappointed me. Now, there were some things that could have been better about the fighting. I like how I can dodge, but there isn't a counter button. When it came to me being surrounded by multiple enemies that were trying to strike me, a double counter would have came in clutch at times. Also, locking the console versions at 30 frames per second could have been avoided if they would have just did a performance mode and a graphics mode, like how some games are doing nowadays. Look, Gotham Knights isn't as bad as people are making it out to be. When I first seen it, it looked promising. Along down the road, it started looking skeptical. I seen a lot of people trash the game, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I was enjoying this game. Say wherever you want, I speak for myself. I don't always like listening to reviews because sometimes that can kill it for yourself. I prefer to go in and try out the game and experience it for myself. There's some fun to be played in this game, but it's about how you go on about it. Now, the final question you're asking, is it worth it? As always, I always leave it up to y'all to just figure that out for yourself. If you stayed to the end of this review, I appreciate it. If you want to see more of my content, then check out the rest of the channel. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel too. Tell me what you think about Gotham Knights in the comments below. This is your boy Mufasa Uncaged, and I'm out.